Hello, friends, and welcome to Sleep Tight Stories. I'd like to say happy birthday to Gabriella Flitt, who is turning 7 October 27th. A very happy birthday to you, Gabriella. I hope you had a special day. This is another Halloween story for you to enjoy. In this story, a little girl named Boobie is scared about going out trick-or-treating on Halloween. She worries about ghosts, witches, werewolves, and everything else. She finally decides to dress up in her costume and try to go out when something happens, and she feels so much better. She goes out trick-or-treating and tries her best to fill her Halloween pumpkin to the top. Boobie's Scary Halloween by Cam Draper. Illustrated by Lynn Draper. A spooky black cat sat in the shade beneath the old oak tree across the lawn. It was a crisp autumn day filled with radiant sunshine. Clouds calmly drifted across the sea blue sky, and every now and then a gentle breeze lifted orange, yellow, and brown tinted leaves up and around, swirling, twirling, and whistling them down and around the cobblestone street. The air was crisp and fresh. It felt just like it should for Halloween. Peering from the corner window of a red brick house was a little blonde-haired, sparkly, blue-eyed young lady named Boobie. She wore her favorite hot pink unicorn shoes, and her golden pigtails bounced back and forth while she watched her two sisters play in the autumn leaves. Ellie, dressed in deep purple, raked leaves, while Kaylee, with a silly side pony, rustled and bustled about. The swing set screeched and creaked as the eerie-looking black cat lurked close by. And why not? It was Halloween, after all. It's supposed to be spooky, kooky, and a little bit scary. Boobie pondered a bit and wasn't so sure if she could go parading through the dark, gloomy streets this Halloween night. What if there were hordes of ghosts and goblins that swarmed through the night, screeching and screaming at the pale moon? Or what if the Wicked Witch flew through the dark sky on a broomstick to snatch up little Boobie and whisk her away? Or perhaps a frightening werewolf would chase her down and gobble her up. Boobie felt her knees jitter and twitter just thinking of all these crazy, odd critters. Boobie couldn't go. She absolutely wouldn't go. But then again, she certainly had to go. How else would she fill her plump orange pumpkin with delightfully delicious Halloween treats? Chocolates, caramels, bubblegum, lollipops, and candy corn. Oodles and oodles of sugar-coated goodies she would pour right down her gullet faster than a bullet. Little Boobie's mouth watered as she licked her lips and shook her hips. She could already taste the sweet, heavenly treats. How could she possibly miss this marvelous night, even if it was full of fright? Boobie sat back and sighed, and she just wanted to cry. What would, could, or should she do? Out of the corner of her eye, Boobie noticed the malevolent-looking black cat prowling across the fence toward Ellie and Kaylee. Could this possibly be the Wicked Witch's spooky black cat? Was it coming to gobble up her sisters? It all seemed so bleak as Boobie shyly peeked through the window. The shabby feline crept closer to her sisters, appearing as if it was ready to attack. With its back arched, the cat's mangy black fur stood up like sharp, jagged spikes. The cat's piercing green eyes stared right at Boobie and then glared back at her sisters. It licked its fangs like it was going to scarf them down. Boobie froze solid like a statue, shivering and quivering in her pink unicorn shoes. What should she do? Frantically, Boobie bolted down the stairs and jolted from the front door, yelling, "Sissy! Sissy!" As Boobie ran toward her sisters, she stumbled, then bumbled, and finally went crashing and smashing into the freshly raked pile of leaves. It was a total disaster. Leaves swirled and twirled about. "Oh no, Boobie!" screamed Ellie and Kaylee in unison. "You've demolished our magnificent mound of leaves." There was nothing left of the pile except for the leaves that covered poor little Boobie. After all the commotion, the villainous black cat had suddenly disappeared. As the girls ran inside the house, Mama Kay was prepping for the night's festivities, decorating and adorning the home with Halloween ornaments. Baked goodies and pumpkin-shaped bowls were heaped with gobs and globs of scrumptious candies. The smell of fresh cookies filled every nook and cranny of the house. Even the scary, hairy spiders came out from the dim-lit corners to catch a scent of Mama Kay's cooking and perhaps nibble on a leftover crumb or two. The sisters' eyes flung open wide as they inspected the tasty treats, cookies, and caramel-covered apples. "How about a magical monster cookie?" Mama Kay asked. Ellie and Kaylee scrambled to grab a marvelous, mouth-watering cookie. Chomping away bite after bite, the girls filled their bellies. As Kaylee and Ellie devoured their cookies, Boobie cowered in the corner. She was full of fret and frown. The mere thought of vampires, ghosts, goblins, and most of all, that dreadful black cat scared the daylights out of her. She was frightened that they would bite and nibble at her toes, or even worse, try to bite her nose. Mama Kay saw Boobie whimpering and said, "Why, Boobie, don't you want a cookie too?" "I'm fearful of all the witches and werewolves, Mama Kay. What if they want to eat me and my sissies whole?" Mama Kay smiled and said with glee, "There's nothing to fear, my little dear. It's Halloween night, a super-duper time to shine so bright, a night to celebrate and dress up as your hero, a night to stuff your tummy with butterscotches and bubble gum too, packing your pumpkin with mounds and pounds of candies galore. Aren't you excited for all the sweet treats? Boobie wasn't so sure. It was time to carve the giant orange pumpkin into a glowing jack-o'-lantern. Boobie hoped this would protect and ward off the villainous creatures of this dark, scary night, especially those that attempted to trick-or-treat at her house. Mama Kay held the carving knife and sliced and diced away. The three girls dug deep down into the pumpkin as the innards oozed through their fingers like squishy orange slime, slipping and sliding around. They all reached into the pumpkin's muck and goo, tossing the slush, slop, and seeds aside too. Mama Kay added one last tweak and twist to the pumpkin's jagged tooth. Then the jack-o'-lantern was finally complete. As the sun began to sink ever so low and the street lights began to glow, Boobie still wasn't so sure what to do. She still didn't know what costume to wear. So she dashed to her room, rapidly rummaging through her toy box. Boobie threw stuffed animals this way, dolls that way, and books every which way. Should she go as a magical unicorn dazzled with glittering rainbows of majestic colors? Or should she dress up as a cheetah cat with fangs of fury and a super long spotted tail? No, no, no. Oh, wait. Oh my. Here it is. Boobie thought to herself. She knew exactly what she would be. The most brilliant costume of all. The costume had big, flappy green wings, long, gnarly claws, and razor-sharp teeth. She could fly high in the sky, swooping, swirling, and dive-bombing. Boobie could and would chase those pesky goats and eerie bats far, far away. She would surely scare all the ferocious creatures, especially that mangy black cat. Boobie would go as a dinosaur bird. It's what she always wanted to be. Mighty, mighty, and brave she would be. As she slid into her bright green dinosaur suit, Boobie felt someone or something was watching her. It was a mysterious feeling. A scratching noise echoed through the walls of her room. Scratch, 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 scratch. A cold chill filled the air. Oh my gosh, what could it be? Boobie's eyes searched and explored the bedroom, top to bottom, and then bottom to top, gazing far and wide. All of a sudden, there it was. Boobie froze solid. She couldn't move or groove. She couldn't run or hide. The creature was peering into her room from an open window. Evil green eyes stared right at Boobie once again. It was the black cat. Oh no! A cold chill crept up Boobie's legs, all the way up her neck, into her hair, down her nose, and all the way to her toes. It was too late now. The ferocious cat was lunging through the window, heading straight towards Boobie. Its tail swayed back and forth, up and down, as if it was taunting the little dinosaur beard. The cat licked its white fangs like a vampire. Boobie squeezed her eyes shut and took a deep breath. Was this it for her? The final straw and curtain call? Would she ever get to fill her pumpkin with her favorite chocolate and pink bubblegum? Wait a second. What was that she felt on her leg? The eerie feeling in the room suddenly disappeared. In fact, it felt warm like the sun and soft like a fluffy cloud. And what was that sound? Was it a purring noise? From the doorway, Boobie heard both Ellie and Kaylee say, "Boobie, where did you find that cuddly kitty? What a sweet first trick or treat." Boobie slowly opened her eyes and glanced down to see the evil black cat. But the cat didn't appear to be evil anymore. Boobie was stunned. The cat was purring and stirring all around. It appeared that Boobie had made a new friend, and most of all, she didn't feel scared anymore. She was ready to take on Halloween night without the least bit of fright. The three sisters dashed out of the front door into the crisp autumn night with the moon shining ever so bright. All the hoots and the howls couldn't scare Boobie now. It was Halloween night, and she was determined to fill her pumpkin full and tight. All of the scary ghosts and goblins and all the werewolves and witches wouldn't be able to give Boobie a scare, not even on a dare. Boobie's brave Halloween. Good night.